I continue on, and here comes some cop cars towards me. And they're going really slow. It's not like they're, you know, like responding to an emergency. They're driving slow. And this guy who watched all, he was running up to the cop cars, and he's shouting. He says, "Hey, you gotta help that guy. He got his ass kicked. He's at the hospital. Help him." And they just went right on by, ignoring him.
Wow.
I'm like, I couldn't believe that. I thought I was saved. And so, and you know, the Antifa are still following me too.
Well, just when I thought I couldn't be even more shocked at the blatant, traitorous activity of the Berkeley PD, you come out with this, and now I'm even more shocked than ever before. Folks, you may have seen this clip right here.
He's had enough! Walk him over to the cops! Walk him over! He's had enough! Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! He's had enough! Come on! Leave him! He's had enough! Walk him over to the cops! Walk him over! He's had enough! Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! He's had enough! Come on!
And you may have seen this victim on Tucker Calrson.
After the massive part of the black bloc came, the police disappeared, and then there was an announcement. The police have stood down, and then like a sea of black just like poured into the park, and then it started getting violent. So after a few minutes, I'm still filming, I'm still around them, and I noticed like a whole bunch of them go down Alston Way. So I go down there to see, okay, what's going on? They're following someone or something. So I went down there, and I'm filming, and then suddenly I hear someone go, you know, there's that racist blank blank that's doxing you and ruining your lives. And I started to turn. I thought, okay, I got to get out of here. I'm surrounded by Antifa. And I took maybe one step, and the first like club smash knocked my camera and monopod out of my hand. And I thought, I'm just going to grab it and run. So I started to reach, and then they just started pounding me over the head. And
so you didn't say anything to them?
No. I'm always like a silent observer. For like 7 months, I go around, I observe, I record, and I just couldn't believe it. I was just shocked. And after the first few hits, I was stunned and dropped to the ground.
Well, I thought it would be pertinent to go a lot deeper and find out what this man thinks and believes and what motivates him. I'd like to apologize beforehand for the technical quality of this interview. It's a great interview, but we're not sitting in a studio. We don't have good equipment. We're both poor, and plus his equipment was destroyed by Antifa anyway. Please consider giving to his Patreon, by the way. And this is going to be the first in a mini-series of interviews with him. In the future, I hope to do better technical quality interviews than this one over the phone. I'm going to do video chat interviews, in-person interviews, and without any further ado, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm calling Kay Picklefield, Keith of Patriot Warrior Media. Well, folks, I'm here on the phone with Keith from Patriot Warrior Media, also known as Kay Picklefield on YouTube. By the way, folks, I'll have links to all this stuff in the video description below, both the videos that I mentioned specifically and for his channel in general, and any other links to anything else that I mentioned in this interview. Keith is famous or infamous for the viral video that you're seeing on your screen right at this moment. and that was from August 27th in Berkeley, which I'm going to ask him about. But first, by doing this interview with each other, are either one of us actually agreeing with each other's views and supporting each other's actions and the views of anybody else associated with them, or are we maybe just doing an interview?
I think we're just doing an interview.
Right. So there you go. Okay. So, if you could, tell me a little something about Patriot Warrior Media and how you got into this whole thing.
Yeah, before I was Patriot Warrior Media, I had heard about, I started watching YouTube, and kind of stumbled across some anti-Semitist videos, and I couldn't believe, what was going on in the country. Kind of started to open my eyes. I couldn't believe that people thought that way, and so then I was intrigued, and then I saw a video by Dr. Jordan Peterson, who is a tenured professor at the University of Toronto. Right. And he was being, just people were going crazy over him in some kind of a demonstration because he didn't want to use these crazy made-up postmodernistic pronouns. And I thought, oh my, people have just gone nuts. And I started listening more and more, and he really opened my eyes to what's going on in the country. And so as a result of that, I began to explore more. I ran across Milo Yiannopoulos and his videos, and I was very intrigued. And then I heard that, lo and behold, he's going to be at UC Berkeley, which is, in the Bay Area. And I thought, okay, man, there has to be a demonstration of this guy's going there. So I started checking online, and I found out that Antifa had already made threats to the university, and they were planning on meeting. I figured out, where they were going to meet, when. So I thought, all right, I'm just going to go video this and see if this is as crazy as it kind of seems like it. And of course, and it was. And just from there, I heard about the March 4th event in Berkeley, and I went to that because I knew, based on what happened at UC Berkeley, that would be crazy. I heard about the April 15th. I knew that would be crazy because of what happened on March 4th. And it's like a snowball. But, initially I was just throwing the videos up on this YouTube channel. I hadn't had the channel for quite a while. I just didn't know what to do with it. And it just stood there stagnant. So I just throw up, uncut footage just to have someplace to park it. It wasn't probably until the beginning of, or somewhere in April, before April 15th, that I decided to kind of make an official channel. And then that's kind of how it started. It just going and just kind of videoing and trying to see, what's up. And here we are now.
Right. Well, I think a lot of people did get into this whole, interested in this whole big, I'm going to call it the anti-free speech movement thing through Jordan Peterson, through the same thing that you saw. And, in fact, I did a video about it, and in fact, they did actually pass that into law, the whole law where people have to be forced to use certain gender pronouns, which is insane. Thankfully, that's Canada, but we can't say, oh, it can't happen here, because it's already in place in New York City. They have the same law in place.
California, I think, too, yeah.
In California, you say?
I believe so. I know it's in the works. I'm not sure if they've actually added that to the laws, but I understand that it's in the works. But I did see that it got added to in New York, yes.
Right. So you've been at these things since February. So you've been at the February, March 4th, April 15th. You've been to a few up in Portland, I think, in June, and then you went to this one this last weekend on the 27th, and you were also there in San Francisco on the 26th, correct?
Right. I caught the April 27th one in Berkeley. I did the May Day in Oakland. I did Cynthia Taylor, who's the leader of the Revolutionary Communist Party. She did a speech at UC Berkeley, which I couldn't believe that school who allowed Milo to be shut out welcomed somebody who wants to destroy the police, destroy the government, attack Trump supporters, destroy capitalism, destroy America. And she was able to come and talk that garbage, and they only had 2 rent-a-cops that they didn't even need to have there.
Right.
I thought that was just crazy. So I did that. I did several other things, the June 4th in Portland, like you mentioned. July 2nd, I was down in Los Angeles on the impeached Trump, and in San Francisco campaign to impeach Trump, and so yeah, kind of an up and down between Portland and LA.
Right, and you were also there for the arraignment of Yvette Filarka. That's a great video. I'm going to link everybody to that. You were also there for the arraignment and the press conference of Dan Siegel with Eric Clapton in UC Berkeley a few weeks before that. In the video titled From Hell on the Streets to Heaven with Tucker Calrson, for which there is a link in the video description below, folks, you appeared on national TV on Fox News with Tucker Calrson, and you mentioned how the police disarmed one side on August 27th in Berkeley, MLK Park, but let the other side, Antifa, not only enter the park armed, but over the barriers, and in fact, you know, we can see them on video stabbing the barriers to let the water out, so they had knives or sharp objects. And this seems to be, well, it certainly is a pattern, especially in Berkeley, where they pen certain people in, the rally goers, the people who have a permit, and they say, okay, come on in, but we're going to check you for weapons, take away their weapons, even take away things like bottles of water and shields and whatnot, and then allow the enemy to march right in with whatever they happen to have. So can you tell me a little about, because you've been to this on February, March, April, and this August, so can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. You know, I got there on the day in question, Sunday the 27th. I got there like way early, and I parked down in the neighborhood below the park, and then I walked up to MLK Park, and I noticed everything was barricaded off. They barricaded the park. They included, you know, Alston Way and Addison Street, which are parallel to the park, and up all the way to Millview, the next street. So there's this huge square that's barricaded. There's a lot of cops there, and I walk up, and there was a list of items that you can't bring, among obvious things like weapons, of course, but you could not bring any kind of defensive armor. You can't wear nothing like that. You couldn't wear like a riot helmet or anything to protect your head. So we had to go in completely defenseless. And so I went in, and I think it was probably around maybe 11 o'clock, or I'm not sure about the timeline, but you know, there were people there, a lot of people. They were, you know, a lot of press, mainstream media, independent guys, and they were filming. A bunch of interviews were happening. So I thought, okay, this is kind of going to be a chill day. You know, police presence, police are around the park. They're all over in groups in the park. And then later on in the day, the first group of Antifa approach, and they come towards the opposite side of the park on Millview, and they're in masks and everything, and the police just let them right through.
Yeah.
And like, there's maybe 20 Patriots, and now they just let a couple hundred Antifa in. It's like, everybody in the world knows that this is not going to end well, so police have to know it's not. And then they immediately start ejecting Patriots. They'll find someone that they think is a Patriot, and then they'll surround them, screaming and yelling, and force them out of the park. You know, at that time, the police were there, so they were able to protect the Patriots a little bit as they were forced out, so no one was really hurt at that time. And the whole time, of course, I'm right there amongst them all, and I'm filming. I got a lot of good close-up stuff, and you know, it's good. It's getting chaotic, but the police are there.
Yeah.
And then a little bit later, it might have been around 1 o'clock or something, the main force band pulls up, and this huge group marching of, you know, Black Bloc. And, you know, I don't know, maybe 2,000, who knows. And there's this truck with their loudspeaker system that say, anytime BAM and Refuse Fascism do a march, and they bring this truck with loudspeakers, and they play music, and then they scream and shout on it. And so they're there, all the Antifa are there, the barriers are still there. But then the cops are lined up, and they're putting on, you know, gas masks. And so I'm like, okay, they're going to just drop some canisters of pure gas, and it's going to be over, you know, a short day. So I turn around to go, there's a scuffle or something, I turn around to film something, and I turn back around, and the cops are gone. I'm like, wait a second, you know, no one dropped any tear gas. I don't see them anywhere. I don't see any Patriots left anywhere, are there? There's some journalists, there's some citizens kind of hanging around. And then somebody gets on the loudspeaker system and says, Berkeley PD has stood down. And then it's like a sea of black just coming over the barriers into the park. They take the park, and now they're getting violent. Now, you know, I filmed as they were ejecting Joey Gibson and Tiny, and I can't remember the gentleman's name that was with them. So now they're starting to beat on people, and they forced them out to, I guess some police were kind of off to one side or something, so they kind of forced them to there. And then for whatever reason, a bunch went down Alston Way, a group of them. I'm not sure why they went, so I went down there to follow and to see what's going on and to film some more. And that's when it all happened, and everything went crazy. I heard someone yell, like, there's that racist piece of shit or something like that who's doxing you, ruining your lives, something along those lines. And then I knew it's like, oh man, this is not going to go well. I mean, there's Antifa all over around me.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, okay, I'm going to just get the hell out of here. There's no way I can protect myself. And someone, like, the first hit behind me, like, smashed my camera and monopod out of my hands. And, you know, I thought that I maybe only took a step or two. But then I saw another video. I guess I was actually able to go a little bit farther before they hit me in the head. But, like, the next things where I got, like, hit in the head 3 or 4 times with whatever they have in their hands. And it was like, as soon as the first hit struck my head, it was weird. It was like, I'll never forget that. It was like kind of a wake-up call. I mean, like, I've been doing this for like 7 months. I've been surrounded by them for hours and hours and hours and hours at a time, and never a problem. So I was lulled into like a false sense of security, and as soon as that came cracking down on my head the first time, I realized it's like, oh my God, I am really in trouble. I cannot believe this is happening finally. And then, you know, I took some more hits in the head. You know, people are forcing me to the ground. And then I just remember, like, just they're hitting and hitting and hitting, and, you know, they're screaming, and you know, I've filmed beat downs before, but I don't remember seeing, like, this much anger or rage, you know. But maybe that's just because it was directed at me, I don't know. But so I was surprised. I have very little memory of what happened. I only know what happened because I watched the video.
Right.
But I remember thinking, okay, I'm going to die. I'm like, I can't do anything. And I was getting hit from all sides. Somehow they got my backpack off my back, but somehow I got it where I was like, I couldn't have got it in front of my face or something. So I got hit in the mouth a couple of times, but that's it. And so after I decided, okay, it's it, I'm going to die, I thought, like, I hope they do it quick, because this is really painful. I don't have to do this for 5 minutes.
Right.
And then I felt like hands, you know, someone was pulling me up. And then I thought, okay, they're going to, you know, stretch me out where they can really get at me, and I can't protect myself. And I was totally shocked when, I know, someone gave me a shove, or they let me go, or something, and so I tried running down off the way some more, and to me it felt like I was, like, in mud or something. I felt like I could barely even move. And I turned left down this other street, and this woman comes up, and she shoves the camera in my face recording, and she says, how does it feel like to be saved by a black transgender woman, or something like that? And I had no idea what happened, so I said, great, or something, thanks. And then, so I continue on, and here comes some cop cars towards me. And they're going really slow. It's not like they're, you know, like responding to an emergency. They're driving slow. And this guy who watched all, he was running up to the cop cars, and he's shouting. He says, hey, you got to help that guy. He got his ass kicked. He's at the hospital. Help him. And they just went right on by, ignoring him.
Wow.
I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I thought I was saved. And so, you know, the Antifa are still following me, too.
Wow, so the cops basically, they flat out abandoned you to the wolves.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I wasn't out of danger. They're still following me. They're still threatening and yelling at me, but they didn't give a shit. They just kept right on going.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
You know, just when
I go farther... Oh, go ahead.
Well, just when I thought I couldn't be even more shocked at the blatant, traitorous activity of the Berkeley PD, you come out with this, and now I'm even more shocked than ever before. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom. it's hard to fathom. So, yeah, so I'm continuing down the street, and, now it's maybe 2 or 3 are still trailing me and yelling shit, and so then I see my car, and I'm thinking, okay, if I get in, they're going to, of course, ID it. But also, I'm thinking, okay, I'm really running out of steam. I don't know how much longer I can even stay on my feet. If I try to circle around the block, they might decide, okay, then to attack again to finish me off. So I thought, okay, I just got to get in that car. So I run for the car, get in, and I take off. And then I called the company that I was filming for. And I told them what happened. So they had me parked like in a big lot, and then they swooped in with like 5 cars, a bunch of guys, and a medic, and checked me out and said go to the hospital, but I was like, I'm in the Bay Area hospitals. I don't want to sit there and have to wait for hours until they finally check me out. It's like, I want to get horizontal. So the 2 hotel rooms just crashed for a little bit, and I was supposed to work the next day, but like, okay, I can barely walk. There's no way I can work, and I can't be walking around in Berkeley, where I can barely move, and a lot of these guys live in Berkeley. I will never recognize them if they decide to approach and do something until it's too late.
Yep.
So, and they were obviously thinking the same thing, so they called me and said, hey, we got an idea for you. We're going back to, we'll take your truck if you want to ride with us, and we'll take you. And so I went with them, and we drove all night long, and they dropped me off somewhere, and been there ever since. Recovering, I went to the hospital the next day, and nothing permanent besides a bunch of lumps and bruises and swelling. I had like bruised ribs and a bruised kidney, but nothing that time won't heal. There was no tears or anything, so.
Right, but I mean, you suffered more than just.
It seemed to be okay. Huh?
You suffered more than just physical damage. Is that fair for me to say?
Yeah, I think as the physical pain has died down a little, or I've kind of grown accustomed to it, then, it's like all the emotional stuff, and also seeing that, they're not satisfied that they almost killed me. Like, they're really angry, and the scary part is they put a hit out on me.
Right, yes.
This wasn't random, it wasn't opportunistic. The folks that, helped unmask Eric Clinton warned me that it was a hit, and they're obviously unhappy because they went to my channel. They know I've been filming them for a while. They are tired of me stalking and harassing, quote, that Talarka. So they put a hit out, and while I was there, of course nobody knew this before, but while I was there were spotters that said there were at least 2 females that were relaying real-time information about where I was, always keeping track of me. So then I think when I was down, surrounded by Antifa, and the right guys who do the dirty work were in place, and no cops were around, then they gave the signal, and that's when the guy pointed me out, and then they attacked.
Right, and you're not the first person.
Oh, go ahead.
You're not the first person who said that they were being tracked minute by minute.
Right, and in fact, the guy who, I didn't even get to this part yet, but I'll tell that in a minute, but the guy who saved me, I did an interview with his company, and he interviewed me. I did 2 interviews. The second interview, he interviewed me, and he had interviewed a couple of the Antifa who were there. I think he said that they weren't the ones that were doing the beating, but they were there, and they confirmed that there was a hit on me, and they were extremely furious with that guy.
Okay, that's it for part 1 of this interview. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and you have clicked that little bell icon there so that you can get notification for the next episode. As always, of course, there are links for everything in the video description below. Please make sure that you subscribe to K Picklefield, KPIKKLEFIELD, or just scroll down, click the link, subscribe to his channel, click his bell icon, and please consider giving him something on Patreon. Antifa destroyed his equipment and caused other hardships for him. I mean, of course, there's hospital bills, of course. You definitely want to hear the rest of this interview, in which we will talk about, amongst other things, his political leanings, his views on things like race, racism, racial separatism, freedom, equality, civil liberties. We'll go through the article about him from It's Going Down, Antifa's propaganda arm, and we'll see just how accurate they portray him. All this and more in future episodes of this interview. In the future, folks, I plan on doing better interviews, at least video chatting if not in person. There are a lot of these people who are heroes fighting on the front line for civil liberties, and they really should get their story out there. Thanks for watching. Love, life, light, liberty, and leaping laughter.